One of my biggest issues right now with the education system, and I'm just going to go there if it's okay with you.
Of course, yeah.
Is that there has been a shift in education and in looking at diversity in the last 15 years. At the height of a lot of the work that I was doing in the schools, there was a focus on diversity in the broad sense, in that culture, which is our different belief systems, our different ways of living, our different faiths, our different ethnicities, all those different things, all the differences and diversity that we experience, and understanding it, appreciating it, celebrating it, making room for it. Now, we have shifted, particularly in the last decade, to the only diversity that we discuss in and are pushing in the school systems has to do with sexual orientation.
Wow.
That is a serious problem for our schools, and we're seeing the result of it. And it has only gotten even more prevalent because there is now curriculum that's trying to go into our schools across our state and even throughout the country. But California is attempting to be one of the states that leads the way. And this curriculum is sex education curriculum starting in kindergarten, where we are teaching children that they can choose their identity. They can choose from 64 different possibilities of what they identify with. They don't have to be a boy. They don't have to be a girl. They could be a box. And it sounds funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
I can choose to be identified as a box, and that I can I can love whoever I want, however I want, in its expression. And this is a dangerous way of thinking. This is a dangerous presentation for our children. It allows children to be groomed for pedophiles. It allows children to walk around in confusion. It is going against all of the historic, it's not tradition, but it's the universal truth of science, psychology, sociology, religion, to establish a completely new framework. And with that focus, with that push towards this thinking, inadvertently, it has pushed out some very important focus and understanding on the broader scale of an understanding of diversity and also communication skills. The only skills that are in this health curriculum that we're giving children is talking about how to negotiate the sexual acts that we may want to engage in. Literally, this education curriculum, starting at 11 years old, is about having conversations about whether, if we're going to have sex, do we use a condom? And what are the possibilities of other options other than having intercourse?
Yeah.
But we're no longer talking about skills and teaching skills about how to communicate and how to be a friend, how to work through an everyday conflict and problem that we have, which are the real issues for children. And which, when it comes to our workforce, conflict is the number one issue that businesses have to deal with in their human resources internally and with customers. That's what takes away productivity. That's what cuts down on customer satisfaction, all of these things. So it makes absolutely no sense for us to be putting our energy into these things.
Yeah.
And right now, we are allowing it to happen as a community. And for me, it is one of the key areas that I feel that if people say, what can I do to make a difference in the world today? I would say, wake up, recognize what is happening in your community, recognize what the agenda is for your children right now, and get involved in your schools. Get involved in your schools. Don't go to your school and sign this year's medical release form without reading the tiny print. And I'm not saying that just for no reason. I'm saying that because if you read the tiny print, you're going to see that it's not the form that we think it is. Every parent thinks I'm signing this form so that my child, if they have an emergency and they can't get a hold of me, they'll take them to the emergency room and give them emergency care. Isn't that what you think?
That's what I would assume.
Right. That's what you assume. Okay. I can say that in 2 sentences. If I add legal jargon, I'd add 3. It might be a third. Right? So why is there 2 sides of tiny print on there? What are all those other statements? Well, one of those statements is parents signing away their right to be aware of what's happening with their child and medical services that they're having on that campus. Do you know that a child can go in class time, during class time, and they can see a professional outside of school? They can actually have a procedure done and come back to school without parental notification or consent. That means someone's 14, 15-year-old child can go to Planned Parenthood, have an abortion on school time, come back, mom and dad don't know anything about it. Is that really okay? Would you be okay with that?
No, that's obscene.
Would you be okay with your elementary school child going and speaking to a school counselor about how they feel that they're not really born a boy, they're born a box? Like, does that work for you as a parent? And that no one talks to you about it? That doesn't work for me as a parent.
No.
But every parent that goes into LAUSD is signing a form that says it's okay. And they don't know it. So this is me saying, parents, wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. You are your child's number one advocate, number one protector. You want to change the world, start at home. Start at home. Start in your community. Go to your schools. You want to know where to put your money? Put your voice into your school. Put your money, put your voice into your community organizations, right there in your community. And tell them, no, I don't want sex education in schools. I don't want my child to learn to negotiate sex. I want them to learn how to problem solve. I want them to learn about diversity in a broader scope.
Yeah.
I want them to learn history, real history, that incorporates the accomplishments of all the different groups that have contributed to building this great nation. We say we're a melting pot. You know, I think sometimes we're more like a stew. Big chunks of carrots and celery and whatever else, you know, but I just think that this is something obviously I'm passionate about, you know. I just feel that we need to protect our children. We need to really see that there's a direct correlation between these issues right now. And there's other things that I think we're going to talk about later, but they're distractions for the real problems.
Yeah, absolutely.